Hi, welcome to another video. This is Mr. Chow from EnglishTuition.org. So in today's video, we'll be going through 5 simple tips on how to write a good personal recount. So this video is meant for secondary school students who will be doing their paper 1, right? And then they're supposed to write good personal recounts, and maybe they're not so sure how they can score well when writing good personal stories. So as you know, a personal recount is based on your own personal experiences, so feel free to make yourself the hero or the heroine of the story. So you are actually one of the main characters of the story, right? So to reiterate, right, personal recount is a story based on your experience. So do not play someone else, or make up a fictitious character for your story. So it has to be based on your experience, the I, right? So see yourself as the main character of the story. Now you may have the question in your head, must the story be true? And the straight answer to that question is no, right? But try not to over-exaggerate the story, right? For example, don't make yourself, into like Spiderman, someone from the SWAT team, or a wizard with magical powers. I am the Terminator. I will be back. Just make sure that you are just you, right? Who is a student, who is also a teenager, then that will make a story to be more believable. Now the second tip I have here is to try to pick a worthy storyline, right? What do I mean? Pick a story that is worth retelling. So we do not want any stories that are too mundane or they're too boring, right? So what is it that is about this story that is worth sharing with everyone? So usually that's either your best moment in your life or your worst moment, right? And different people have different experiences, so you want to share yours and try not to copy from anybody else, right? So I understand that sometimes as friends, you may hear some stories from your friends, but those are other people's experiences, and therefore you may not have some of the important details that you may miss out when you're telling the story, right? So tell your own story and do not copy from others, right? This will ensure that your story is 100% original, right? It's yours and yours alone, and it will not be the same as anybody else. So stick with your best stories, and if you haven't already figured out what they are, your personal recounts will get an average score at best, right? So if you're wondering why you're not scoring better for your paper 1, for your essay writing, this could be one of the reasons that you have not picked a worthy storyline. Next, as you're writing, try to tease the reader a little bit, right? Nobody likes to read a story that is like a flat storyline, okay, because that makes the story very boring. Okay, a good story usually has a few twists and turns, right? You want to keep the reader guessing all the time. So don't spoil the story by revealing the important parts too early, right? For example, in your introduction, right, don't give away the farm, all right? You can always try to drop hints along the way and keep your reader in suspense all the time, right? And you only reveal the most interesting parts of the story only at the climax, right, which is supposed to be somewhere near the middle of the story. Okay, so good storytellers continue to tease the reader until the very end. And the next tip I have here is to always try to describe in detail, right? What do I mean? So many students dislike describing things because they do not feel confident about their range of vocabulary. So this is a very common reason why students reject the personal recount question all the time, right? Because they feel that I'm just not good at describing stuff, so let's try something else. Let's not do the personal recount part, let's not describe things, okay? So these students are actually at a disadvantage, right? Because a good story tends to contain important details, so don't shy away from the details, right? So if you're going to do a personal recount, be prepared, mentally prepared that you want to include as much details as you can, especially the important details, right? Details make the story come to life, okay? And interesting stories often contain details. Therefore, try to describe everything in detail, right? For example, the environment, the characters, what are their appearances, how were they feeling, describe their emotions, etc., etc., etc. This requires a little bit effort on the part of the student, but if the important details are included, then it really makes your story come to life, okay? And it gives you lots of opportunities to showcase your range of vocabulary, right? You're using lots of different adjectives throughout the entire piece of writing. And then the final tip number 5 that I have here, right, is that you can always write, some reflection. Okay, I think as SEC, especially for upper SEC students, that you're old enough, right, to be able to reflect your own personal experiences, right? And due to the nature of personal recounts, right, they're about you, right? They make great material for reflections. Do you reflect on what have happened to you in the past? And students can conclude, right, their interesting recounts by writing insightful comments. Okay, for example, what lessons have you learned? What are the values that you have picked up? Or what skills have you learned, right? So this will be very useful, okay? And again, you can showcase your writing skills, okay, just by writing about some of your reflections, okay? And then consider, right, is there anything that you can do to avoid painful lessons, etc., right? If you went through a painful experience, okay, and why just let the story end there, right? Use it as part of your conclusion. Talk about, what can you do in the future to avoid going through similar painful experiences. So we've come to the end of the video. So do remember to leave a like and a subscribe if you have enjoyed the video. And if you're serious about improving your English grades and would like to sign up for lessons, do drop a message. My contact information is on englishtuition.org. So thanks for viewing the video again. I will see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.